do that. And I remember, and I was going to bring that up with you. I believe we talked about it in the past when the liberal left was just completely losing their mind on waterboarding.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You think waterboarding is as bad as what the enemy does to our people?
Oh my, right.
Waterboarding is a cakewalk compared to what they did to people that were prisoners in Korea and Vietnam, and what they would do to us in the Middle East if we were prisoners of that war. And that's why we made a pact within ourselves. We're not going to be taken prisoner. We're going to die in place, because we're not going to be tortured like that. So to get information out of individuals, certain tactics have to be used. But the problem with that is when you start letting CNN and the media and the liberal left peeking into the battlefield, you just remove the ability for us to win, because you're trying to govern the battlefield from a political view rather than a view of winning. The mindset is to win. It is to win, and to win quickly and be done with it, and that less lives will die and less damage will be done if you do it quickly. If you draw it out with political ambitions of tenderness and nation building, so it draws out and more people get killed. And
that's like Hiroshima. Today, if we would have attempted something like that, but look at the lives.
We'd have had to invade Japan. Yeah. And look at all the people in Japan that would have been killed, and they would have fought to the death, and the Marines and soldiers that would have invaded Japan, compared to that which was killed by the two bombs.
Okay, let me read this real quick, and then I'm going to Ramona in Missouri. I have an article here, and it is discussing Secretary of State Pompeo's religion, Christianity, and he says that he's a born-again Christian. The statement is made here, and it says, the Secretary of State receives criticism for injecting his faith into the equation. He's meeting different situations that he's facing, of course. And here's what Rear Admiral John Kirby said. We'll see if you agree with him. There's nothing wrong with a cabinet official, a government official, when asked to talk about their personal belief system, says retired Rear Admiral John Kirby. What is wrong is for him to apply, as Secretary of State Pompeo does, those Christian values, those specifically evangelical Christian values, to the task of foreign policy. Do you agree with that statement?
No, I don't agree with it, because I believe if our policy is based on Christianity, the world would be a whole lot better off. The people around the world, if everybody was Christian, we wouldn't need war. If everybody served God, you could leave your doors open, but they don't, and there's evil people, and therefore, because of that, we do have to have war, and we do have to have police officers, and to me, that's a silly statement. The man's a Christian, obviously, and to deal with other nations based on a Christian. Our nation is built on Christianity. Our thought process, our culture, the Constitution is based on a Christian point of view, and I believe that I'm glad the brothers are Christian. I wish everybody in the cabinet were Christians and governed by the Holy Ghost.
This is the mindset that's in the military today.
Yeah.
And this is what our soldiers have to deal with, and our men that are fighting on the battlefield, that it's wrong for us to interject our values of Christianity.
But what if he had been a Muslim and wanted?
They wouldn't have said nothing.
They wouldn't have said a word about it.
It's because Christianity, the cross separates one world religion. That's all it does. Globalism. Yeah. The cross separates, and it's exclusionary, and they don't like it. That's all it's about. To me, the best soldier is a Christian that loves God, that doesn't fear death, that defends his family and his country and his Constitution, serves the Lord. David Paisley was a Christian man, but I guarantee you he can pick up his front sight and eliminate the threat.
Right. All right, let's go to Ramona in Missouri. You have a quick question, Ramona?
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to thank you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead with your question.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys for taking my call, and I appreciate all you do. But my question is that I suffer from PTSD also, but mine is from a very violent rape when I was 13. Is it wrong of me to seek like a professional to go talk to a psychologist? Does it mean that I'm not trusting God? I'm 52 years old now, and I've suffered from it for all these years. And I've forgiven the man, you know, because God wouldn't forgive me. He says so if I don't forgive him. So I just wonder what you guys' thoughts are on talking to someone.
My opinion, there's nothing wrong with talking to somebody. The error in Christianity is when you put your trust in psychology as the means of healing rather than Christ.
Right.
I don't have a... look, you've endured a traumatic event that scars the mind, but your help comes from above.
Man.
All man can do for you, Ramona, is lend an ear. And sometimes that's all we need. You know, sometimes it's just somebody sitting down saying, tell me what's on your mind. And you being allowed to pour out your heart. Now, you should be doing that to the Lord. And I don't think man is a solution to anything, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with talking to someone if it just gets you into a better place. And sometimes that's all we need, just to, but, you know, I would say do that to the Lord before you do it to man, but no one has any negative thought about talking it out or speaking to someone. You got to do what you got to do, but at the end of the day, that person can't do anything for you.
It's ultimately Christ.
They can't change what happened. They can't make you feel better. Only the Lord can do that. And I would simply say, as I started to say, no, it's not wrong in a traumatic situation to talk that, but why don't you do that talking to the Lord like you would talk to somebody else? Just tell the Lord, and he knows it already, but just tell him.
And learn how to control your thoughts. When the devil wants to get you thinking about what happened to you as a young person, stop and meditate on the Lord and the good things of God. That's what you're going to... Listen, I had to learn how to do that, and you can learn. Ask the Lord to help you to learn how to control your thoughts. You don't you don't think about it, and you don't talk about it. Talk about Jesus Christ. Talk about the goodness of God, the good times in your life. That helps.
Yeah.
So I talk to God like he's my friend sitting next to me.
He is.
He is.
Sticks closer than anybody else.
He's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother.
I know how to talk to him.
Right. All right. Thank you for calling, Ramona.
I thank you so much.
Yeah, and we're running out of time, and I wish I could get to our next caller, but we're out of time. And I want to thank all of you for being tuned in with us today. And I want to thank Brother Matthew Neese for being with us. Thank you for devoting these 2 hours to the listeners of Sun Life Broadcasting. You've been a blessing, and you've been a help, and I know I'll get emails over the weekend concerning, because this program will air again, concerning your situation, and thank you for sharing that with us. And would you like to address the listeners with anything else?
Just put your trust in the Lord.
Amen.
Lean not on your own understanding, but lean on the strong arm of the Lord. Trust the Lord. He'll see a way, make a way when there doesn't seem to be a way.
That's right. Thank you, and God bless you. We'll be back with you tomorrow.
Email questions and comments about today's program to onair@jsm.org. Be sure to join Francis Swaggart on Facebook at facebook.com/Francis Swaggart. Archived programs are available at sunlifetv.com. Francis and Friends is a production of the Sun Life Broadcasting Network.
The Sun Life Broadcasting Television Network and Sun Life Radio are 100% listener and viewer supported. There's no outside funding, no underwriting, no commercial support. The networks are kept on the air by your ongoing prayers and monthly donations. Thanks to you, SBN TV and Sun Life Radio are taking the message of the cross of Jesus Christ to the entire world. April Share-a-thon starts Monday, April 8th on SBN TV and Sun Life Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pastor Gabriel Swaggart, and if I were you, as a believer, I would have personally in my library as many books as possible that helps me to better understand the Word of God. And we have a plethora of material regarding how that you can better understand the Word of God and your walk with the Lord Jesus Christ. And we've got 2 books written by my grandfather, who is, in my opinion, one of the greatest writers around. And of course, that is just my opinion. But he's got 2 books that we would like to present to you half off. Half off. The first one, The World, the Flesh, and the Devil, a term that the early church fathers coined many years ago. This will be a blessing, and Rape of a Nation. Both of these, half off. You can see the number right there on the screen. Go online and get your copies of these 2 books immediately.
Join Family Worship Center Associate Pastors for these upcoming meetings. Get the complete Associate Pastor meeting schedule at jsm.org.
I want to thank you so very, very much for the help that you gave us last few days respecting the Share-a-thon. And our goal was, in round numbers, some $5 million. And you gave us some $3,156,000, and we thank God for that. But that left a shortfall of about $1.9 million, once again, in round numbers. So we have to make up this amount. And for every one of you who can give us $100 or more to help us with this deficit, I want to give you this CD, DVD, Some Golden Daybreak, some of the greatest music, I think, in the world that will bless your heart. We need this help, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm asking you, please, to pray about what I've said. Let the Lord speak to you, and then whatever he tells you to do, as Mary said a long time ago, do it.
At Jimmy Swaggart Ministries, we believe in the power of prayer. Philippians 4:6 says, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God." Every prayer request form that is filled out online or called in is not only prayed for in the JSM office, but they're placed in the prayer box at Family Worship Center. And then in every Sunday morning service, when people are called forward to be anointed with oil and prayed over, all of the prayer requests are prayed for again by the pastors at Family Worship Center. If you have a need in your life, spiritual, physical, financial, domestic, emotional, or whatever it may be, we want to agree with you in prayer. Prayer requests can be submitted online at jsm.org, or you can call them in at 225-768-7000. Whatever the need may be, it will be prayed over. So let us hear from you.
You're listening to WXPS LP 92.1 FM in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. A report on the crash of an Ethiopian Airlines jetliner last month says the pilots followed procedure as they attempted to rescue the craft from a stall. Aviation safety expert John Cox.
I think that the improvements that Boeing is going to make to the airplane will go a long way to getting those problems resolved so that it can't happen again, which is exactly, that's the whole focus is for accident investigators, is to make sure that it does not happen again.
The Boeing 737 MAX 8 jet crashed on March 10th, shortly after takeoff from Addis Ababa, killing all 157 people on board. President Trump now crying foul as House Democrats ramp up their investigations.
This week, House Democrats have asked the IRS for 6 years of Donald Trump's tax returns and 10 years of his financial records. They're also demanding access to the unredacted Mueller report. On Twitter, the president calls this the highest level of presidential harassment and says if Democrats want to investigate, they should find out how the ridiculous collusion delusion got started.
As White House correspondent Greg Cluxton, Britain's parliament has approved a bill that compels Prime Minister Theresa May to seek to extend the Brexit process beyond April 12th to prevent a no-deal departure.
This, with potentially huge ramifications, boiled down to just one vote. It's extraordinary stuff.
That's BBC's Ben Wright.
Government will be compelled to come forward with a motion to the House of Commons seeking an extension to the Article 50 process and giving MPs the chance to vote on that.
Republican governors of 3 Midwestern states that saw serious floods in March say it's time they were given more control over the Missouri River that borders their states. Missouri Governor Mike Parsons.
If it means going to Congress to do that, or it means to meeting with other administration in Washington at the White House, then I'm all for that.
Management of the dams and levees along the river currently falls to officials at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. This is SRN News. Some Christians are raising concerns about the popularity of RFID chips.
They're in your subway card, passport, maybe even your pet. Radio frequency identification chips. They help locate and keep track of things as well as store information. But how would you feel about them if they were implanted in your hand? Some people are doing just that, using the chips to store medical data and open doors. Some Christians see troubling parallels to prophecies about that in the book of Revelation and the number 666. Michael Harrington, SRN News.
Arkansas Pastor Ronnie Floyd has been elected president and CEO of the Southern Baptist Convention's Executive Committee. The man previously in that role forced to resign due to an inappropriate relationship. The committee elected Floyd at a meeting on Tuesday in Dallas. His previous leadership roles include being SBC president between 2014 and 2016. Floyd is an advisor as well to President Trump. This is SRN News. A new study suggests doctors can safely transplant lungs or hearts from hepatitis C positive donors as long as they treat the recipients.
Instead of trying to cure hepatitis C after it took hold, researchers at Boston's Brigham and Women's Hospital worked to prevent infection in the first place. Within hours of a transplant, participants were treated for a month. None of the nearly 36 patients showed signs of hepatitis C, and their organs are functioning well.
As correspondent Jackie Quinn, Sears is getting ready to open the first batch of smaller stores.
The new stores are called Sears Home and Life. 3 of them will open Memorial Day weekend, and they're a fraction of the size of the company's original stores. But they will not replace the remaining 425 original Sears stores.
Julie Walker reports that they will focus on appliances, mattresses, and home services. More details at srnnews.com.
Dry today, then showers return for Friday. The WXPS weather forecast for this afternoon, mostly sunny skies and mild with a high around 73. Southeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear this evening, then becoming mostly cloudy for tonight with showers developing after midnight, low near 51. Winds remain southeast at 5 to 10. Friday, cloudy with periods of rain will climb to around 64. Then showers taper off with areas of fog possible on the overnight, 48. Our weekend outlook, partly cloudy and lower 70s for Saturday. Thunderstorms likely for Sunday with a high in the mid-70s. For 92.1 WXPS, I'm meteorologist James Covington.
And right now in Spartanburg, sunshine and 68 degrees currently.
This is Your Lunch Hour with Scott Corbin on WXPS FM 92.1 and online at WXPSFM.com.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's 5 minutes now after the top of the hour. Welcome into your lunch hour and also to the first hour of our April 2019 Radiothon. Nikki's here with me in the studio as we get this underway, and we're asking you for your help, as always, to keep us on the air for another month. I'm going to let Nikki start by telling you how to get in touch with us, but those of you watching, look at those totals on the screen so far. What a blessing it is to come in and start out the Radiothon with these numbers already. Now, there's still a lot of room for a lot more giving. Much more is needed, but we're off to a great start, and we're going to run down the list of donors in just a moment. But first, tell them how to get in touch, please.
All right, you can give by going to our website, WXPSFM.com, and click on the donate link.
It will take you safely and securely through PayPal, and you will get notified of your donation right away. Again, that's WXPSFM.com. You can give us a call at 864-327-8725. When you call, we can take your credit or debit card information over the phone. Again, that's 864-327-8725. You can text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E. Text it to 864-507-9382. When you text the word GIVE to that number, it will come back and ask you for your credit and debit card information. It's a service that we use. You can't call that number. You can only text it. But when you do that, you type in your information. And after the first time of using it, it's really simple. The next time you just type in the amount you want to give, and it will send it. Text GIVE to that number, and then it will prompt you for your information. Or you can stop by. We're at 250 North Church Street in downtown Spartanburg, right across from the Marriott. And the bookstore is open today until 2 o'clock. So come on out and browse the bookstore and drop off your donation if you'd like to do so that way. Let me say, this month, there's going to be several days that the bookstore is not open because Scott and I will be traveling this month. And so there's going to be some days that the store will not be open. So come today. It is open today, so come. In fact, this weekend it'll be open. So,
and it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I know how folks are. If it rains, they might not want to come out. So come today.
Yeah, come today and drop off your donation at 250 North Church Street in downtown Spartanburg. Or you can mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina 29304. But if you're going to do that, let us know what you're sending so we can include the amount in today's totals.
All right, so let's do that rundown of the giving. As you can see, if you're watching, and for those of you that are listening, I'm going to tell you we are at $1,226 already in radio. That's giving that has taken place in the past several days. And our goal in radio is $1,600. That means we are less than $400 away from meeting our goal for radio. Now, there's several other goals here that we'll get to in a moment, but we are doing outstanding in radio already, and we give the Lord the praise for that. And here's how that shapes up here. The Taylor brothers, the Taylor family, I should say, they are giving $200. Finished Work Worship Center out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, is giving $25. Joanne is giving $20. Becky is giving $50. Rebecca is giving $51. Patsy is giving $200. We have an anonymous gift of $300. Joe and Melissa are giving $250. Duke is giving $100, and Ronnie is giving $30. And so if we've got that added up correctly, that comes to $1,226. Now, let's look at our building fund goal next. We have Elijah giving $4.50 in that, so we've rounded that to $4. Or maybe we could round that to $5, but we got $4. We'll keep it there. $4 in the building fund, but our goal is $2,000 in the building fund.
And if I can say real quickly about Elijah, so he got $5 a week ago, I think, for helping out at your mother's house, I think it was.
Yep.
And he came in and immediately he brought the $5 in and handed it to me. He said, "How much am I supposed to tithe?" Because we teach them about tithing, that you give 10% of anything you earn. And he said, "So how much is my tithe?" Because he didn't know what 10% of $5 was. I said, "Your tithe would be 50 cents. And he said, "Okay, put 50 cents in the tithes and put the $4.50 in the building fund." And I said, "Okay, if that's what you want to do." So he gave his entire earnings for doing some work.
Mm-hmm.
He brought it and he just gave it straight to me and said, "Just put this in the offering." And, 50 cents for the offering and $4.50 for the building fund.
Amen. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you so very, very much for that. We need some, now I started to say we need some adults to perform that way, but we don't expect everybody to give all their income.
Right.
The Lord doesn't expect that.
Exactly.
Because most of us are not able to do that, but we can at least pay tithe off of it and give offerings. And so thank you, Elijah, as well as everyone else. Now, there's one more gift to announce here. If you look down on your third line there, if you're watching on social media or on Vision of Truth, you'll see a television total of $401. 401. Our TV goal is $260. We've been running that goal for the last couple of months and haven't gotten anything in that, and therefore we've not started on television. And we've been telling you that our start will be probably to air a 1-minute devotional during the Channel 62 news probably 2 days a week. And to do that would cost about $260 a month. And from there, we'll move into a weekly half-hour television program, probably on another station. And we have been doing some recording already to get some filming done for that 30-minute program. And, of course, we can do the filming pretty quickly for the 1-minute devotional. But here's the reason. We got to I would listen carefully to this. We got to announce the reason that the total there is $401. That has been given by one person, Patsy. As we mentioned Patsy already, she gave $200 into the radio fund, but she's giving $401 into the television fund. And she told me last night when she gave that at church, she said this is in honor of her son, Brother Joe Walker, who is one of our associate ministers, great friend, great man of God. She gave it in honor of his birthday because Joe is turning 41 years old today, right?
Yes, yes.
It is today. So, Joe, we want to say to you, and Joe's probably running around working like crazy like he always does. He's probably not listening, but maybe he can go back and watch this on the Facebook feed that'll get saved out there. Joe, happy birthday to you. And I've decided in honor of your birthday, instead of ruining it with me singing, I don't know why I can't sing like Brother Swagger and just sing happy birthday, or like Robin. Everybody wants Robin or Brother Swagger to sing happy birthday. We're going to do it this way for you, Joe. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thanks to your mother, Sister Patsy, for giving $401 into the TV fund, the very first gift ever for television for this new programming we're going to do. She gave it in honor of you. So, Joe, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Sing it again.
Happy birthday to you.
As Donald Trump would say.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Brother Joe, we hope you have a wonderful day. For those of you not watching and only listening, that actually was me singing. We brought a band in and everything. I'm exaggerating a little bit on Joe's birthday. But anyway, we've got a grand total there of $1,631 has been given thus far in this radiothon for April, and we are 15 minutes into it. So what a blessing. What a blessing. Now, we got to finish out radio. Shouldn't be hard to do that, less than $400, and we really got to make a big, big dent in that goal for the building fund. So that's what this is going to be about for this hour. And between 5 and 6 today, same hours tomorrow, and 10 a.m. until noon on Saturday. That's what we're doing here, is asking you to help us out if you can.
With only about $400 to go in the radio goal, there's really no reason we shouldn't meet that today.
That's right.
I mean, we should definitely get that knocked out and then need to work on the building. And just a reminder to the people listening, the building goal is there because when we moved downtown, we renovated the building and acquired a lot of expenses. And the reason why we feel okay with bringing those expenses to our radio listeners is for a couple of reasons. One, our move in downtown did give us a better facility for the radio station. It gave us more space also to expand our audio-visual ministry now that we have a place where we can record TV programs and things like that. So it all expanded what we're able to do as far as the radio and media outreach. And then not only that, but as we've shared many times, many of the donations that come in for the radio do come from those that attend Truth Chapel.
Right.
And so we always say, if the people here are making it possible for the radio to reach you, then can you help out with the building that the radio is coming from? And so we do have about $2,000 worth of bills every month. And honestly,
for renovations.
For renovations.
Not $2,000 total.
Right, yes, for renovations.
But just for the renovation debts.
And And in all honesty, though, that's just paying the bare minimum on bills every month. And really what we need, and I put this out there because perhaps somebody is listening who is able to do this, what we really need is some very large gifts to come in to not only pay the minimums, but to pay beyond the minimums. And we're praying for that. We're praying and believing that God's going to send someone who's able to take care of these debts and help us to pursue purchasing this building. But be that as it may, we need to at least meet the minimum payment. So, and in most months we have not met the $2,000. In fact, some months have been very low, so low that it's been very difficult for us to pay the bills. And so we're asking you, would you pray about being a part? And I always say this: if everyone listening would give just $10, I have no doubt the goals would be met and beyond. So if you're listening, you're able to do $10, do that 10, okay? Just start there. But some of you're not only able to do 10, but you're able to do 20, and you know that you should do the 20. Some of you are able to do 50, 100, or maybe even you're feeling that call to do the 1,000, even though that's a large amount, but that's the right thing. And so we're saying, do what you're supposed to do. Be obedient to the Lord. But as a starting place, I'm going to just say, just at least start out with that $10. We make it as easy to donate as possible. We make it where you go to our website. You don't have to talk to anybody or anything. You click on the donate link. That website, again, is wxpsfm.com. So simple to give that way. We make it, if you'd rather talk to somebody and let them do all the filling out the work and stuff, filling in the credit card or debit card information, we have someone available answering calls right now who would love to be able to talk to you and take that information. Our number is 864-327-8725. Call that number and we can take your credit or debit card information over the phone. Or if you want to mail something in, call that number and let us know what you're sending, and we can make sure you have the address correct. The address is P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina 29304. Or if you are phone savvy, smartphone savvy, and you enjoy texting and rather just do that, have a simple way to do it, you can text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 864-507-9382. Honestly, this is how I do it. Used to, I don't know how many times I show up at church and be like, oh, I forgot my checkbook, and then I'd have to, try to make myself a note to bring the checkbook, and it was always, because I don't write checks usually, and so it always bothered me to forget my checkbook and have to bring it later and things like that. So now I just come Sunday morning and I look down at my phone, it's like, oh, I need a tithe, and so I just go in there and type the amount I'm going to give, and I love it. I'm through with it. It makes it so much easier, at least for me. Again, you can text the word GIVE, 864-507-9382. And the first time you do that, you have to type in your credit and debit card information on your phone. But once you've done that, all I do every month is I type in the amount of money and I hit send, and it's done. I don't do anything else. It's so simple. So you can do that, or you can stop by. Our bookstore is open until 2 o'clock today, 250 North Church Street in downtown Spartanburg. Stop by. Brother Tony's down there to welcome you and can take your donation that way. But we need people to give.
Yes, we do.
The need is great. We need about approximately $2,400 minimum. And I know that sounds like a lot, but if people come together and do their part, it adds up so quickly. And honestly, even though I'm thankful for these $100 gifts we get, or several $100 gifts we get, it really thrills my heart more when we have a lot of people giving, even if they're small amounts, because the weight shouldn't be on just a handful.
Right.
It should be everybody doing something. So when even if we get, 20 people giving $10 each, that excites me. I enjoy.
And then the $100 and something gifts too are very nice.
Yes,
they all add up.
Yes.
To as long as everybody's being obedient.
Yes.
And the weight is being
obedient.
The weight's being distributed among people as the Lord would have it do, instead of a few carrying the load.
Yes.
That's
so I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you. Pray about giving and take the steps now to give. Do what you are able to do, or let me not even say do what you're able to do. Do what the Lord says do.
That's it, yes.
Do what the Lord says do, and be a blessing to this ministry, and realize you're a part of everything this ministry is doing. As you help out financially, you're making a way for all this to happen, and there's so much happening from this ministry, and we want people to be excited about being a part of the work that's taking place, of the outreaches that are coming forth from this ministry, and be a part.
All right. You know, when Patsy gave that money last night for television, she told me, she said, I want, and she named people that she knows, people that she's close to, not by name, but just, you know, who they are. And she said, I want them to hear what we get to hear at this church. I want them to get the message of the cross. And she said, if I pay to get it on television, they might watch and be able to hear a little of this message over television. And so no matter who you are, that's what you're doing, is making this gospel message available to other people, whether it's through the radio station here in Spartanburg, whether it's through the online outreaches we do, live with the radio, or other things we do. And I'll get you to talk a little bit about that at some point. We've really increased the amount of things we have available online for people to watch and for people to listen to, especially watch. Recently, you're helping us keep the doors of the church open. As Nikki said, if people at Truth Chapel are primarily supporting the radio station, which is what's happening again this month so far, then we would ask the listeners, you support the fact that we need this facility here to have the radio station. And so it's everybody working together, everybody doing their part, and you are making the message of the cross available to people in Spartanburg and beyond as you give. And there's no greater privilege, there's no greater thing to do than doing that, making this great gospel of Jesus Christ available. Last night, I taught on the verses out of, I believe it was Mark 14 that I read from, about the woman. It was Mary, or one of the Marys. It was the Mary who was the sister of Martha and the brother of Lazarus. She broke open the alabaster box or jar, and the ointment in that she anointed Jesus with, and he said it in his own words. He said, she has anointed me aforehand for my burial. She knew that he would be crucified, and very possibly she also understood about the resurrection, which was very not understood at all by most people. That's why they went to anoint him in the tomb, and they came and found an empty tomb that Sunday morning, but they went to anoint a dead body. In other words, they didn't believe in the resurrection. They didn't understand it. They didn't know that he would not be there. They thought his dead body would be there. But Mary anointed him in advance before he would be crucified. And the commentary said that ointment was probably worth about $10,000 in today's money. And there was no, you know, I pointed out last night, there was no gathering it back up and putting it back in and using it later or selling it or whatever. And there was a religious crowd. There was the people that were disgruntled, and they were griping and complaining, well, we should have sold this and given money to the poor.
Even Judas was one of the ones.
Well, he was amazing. It probably started with him.
Yeah.
And then he brought dissension among what Jesus was, the ministry, and what the woman was trying to do to bless the Lord. He brought dissension among all that. The same thing we see happening in churches that Satan is always the author of. But anyway, there was no reusing it, but she put it all on Jesus. She blessed him. And I pointed out that he had raised her brother from the dead when he raised Lazarus from the dead. So no wonder. And all that she learned, you know, sitting at his feet, so to speak, and him teaching him, all that. It's no wonder that she wanted to bless him, and she was blessing the gospel. And that's what we're asking people to do today. It may not be $10,000, though it could be for some, but it's blessing the work of God and realizing the truth that is going forth and saying, I want to be a part of that. And the people fuss. They said, well, just putting oil on somebody, you know, what good does that do? We could have done this and done that. And we're not asking you to do that. Those days are over. There's no anointing Jesus anymore with oil before his crucifixion. But there is the work that he left for us to do. There is the Great Commission to bless and to finance and to pray about and pray for. And that's what we're asking for you to do. And I'm going to tell you something, especially, I mean, even if you're going to give $5, pardon me, but especially if the Lord is laying it upon your heart to give a larger gift, Satan is going to do everything he can. He's going to mess with your mind. He's going to speak to you and tell you that you shouldn't do that. He'll tell you things that are, he'll lie to you and make up things and tell you things that are wrong with the church, and we shouldn't be doing it this way and doing it that way. How do I know that? Because I've seen it happen with people. If you feel led to give right now. Get on that phone now. Get on the website now to give through PayPal. Do the texting now. Come by now. If you're on your lunch hour, swing by downtown Spartanburg. If you're close by and you won't run over your lunch hour, come by the bookstore and give in person. Do it now. Obey the Lord now, because Satan will do everything in his power to try to deceive you and tell you that it's not something you should do and this is not a work worth giving into. But when you're preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, telling people the truth, and they can get saved, they can be healed, they can be baptized in the Holy Spirit, they can be delivered from sin, what greater thing than that is there to participate in, especially when you talk about the eternal value? Getting healed is great, getting delivered is great, but we're talking about people going to heaven for eternity and not hell. There's nothing more important than that.
Right. Amen. So we need people to give right now. Again, go to WXPSFM.com, click on the donate link, give us a call at 864-327-8725. Text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 864-507-9382. Mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina, 29304. Or stop by. We're at 250 North Church Street in downtown Spartanburg. Come by now and visit the bookstore and drop off your donation that way.
Amen. It's 12:27 Eastern Time. That means we're almost half done for this hour. So let me say right quick before we go any further, if you're watching on social media, please share the live video stream with other people, because you have a group of friends on Facebook or a group of followers on Twitter or however it may be, or if you can just even email it to some folks. You've got a group of people you can get in touch with that we can't, because we don't have the same friend group on Facebook as you do. No two people probably have exactly the same group of friends. So, in other words, you can make this available to people that otherwise won't know about it unless and all you got to do is so easy. Click the button that says share right underneath the video stream that you're watching. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching it on Twitter, click the button to do a retweet. And on YouTube, you can share it on your Facebook page or your Twitter page, I think pretty easily from YouTube right there as they're watching it, right?
Yep.
All you got to do is click a button. So it's so easy. I'm not asking you to go knock on 100 doors right now and tell people to tune in. With a click of a couple of buttons on your device, you could tell hundreds of people all at once. If you have that many friends or followers, you could tell hundreds of people all at one time about this, and they may be somebody that watches and says, hey, I didn't know that existed. I didn't know they were doing that. Didn't know about that radio station. And first and foremost, they can begin to listen and watch and be blessed and be taught and be instructed. But secondly, they may even decide to give to make it possible for us to do what we are doing. So that's another way you can help out. In addition to giving yourself and in addition to praying, you can tell other people about it. So we invite you to do that. Melissa commented on Facebook at the beginning of the program, praying for the best radiothon ever. So thank you, Melissa. We agree with you that that's exactly what is going to be taking place. And by the start that we're off to, that may well be possible. But the phone hasn't. We started out with these totals we announced. 30 minutes later, we're still there. We're on live telling you the need, and the phone hasn't rung as far as I know, and I'm sure you're keeping a check
and
on the text.
The last I checked, there's no donations coming in.
All right, so we need to hear from you. We need to hear from you right this moment. Go ahead and do it the first hour. We will be back between 5 and 6 this afternoon. We'll be on at noon tomorrow and 5 p.m. tomorrow, and be back Saturday morning, 10 till noon. But do it now this first hour, and if we could just make great progress this first hour and great progress again this afternoon, we could we wouldn't bail out on you and say we're just not going to do Radiothon because we've got what we need. We could spend the time just praising the Lord and thanking Him for what's been done instead of going over the needs over and over and over. We do that because we've got people tuning in and tuning out, and we've got to keep mentioning the contact information and mentioning the needs often enough that if somebody tunes in for a couple of minutes, they'll hear it and know what it is we're doing and why they need to be a part of it. So we're going to be repetitive until this money comes in, and I'm expecting it. I'm expecting a big, big part, if not all, of that $2,000 in the building fund to come in. And if this is going to be the month when maybe somebody is going to make a very large and significant donation to help us pay off some of those debts, not just to pay the minimum as you were talking about for this month, but pay some of them off, if not all of them, boy, how grateful we will be. And I believe that God will be pleased.
Amen. Amen. I believe God has a supplier out there. You know, this past month, when we came in March Radiothon, we were announcing that we were going to be doing a box lunch fundraiser, which we attempted to do, but we didn't have anybody purchase any plates, so we had to cancel it. Right. But in times past, Scott and I have discussed before that really a couple of things bother us with fundraising. Is one, so anytime we do a fundraiser, it's like extra work for Scott and I. And the fact is, we work all the time already.
It's not that work bothers us.
Right. We're already, we work literally all day, most days, to do something concerning the ministry here, whether it's working on things for the radio station, working on things for church services. It's just, we literally have a, beyond, you know, people talk about a 40-hour work week. We do more than 40 hours a week. Working on ministry,
a lot more.
Working on ministry things. So the idea of, let's work even more to bring in more money, you know, just to be honest, we're not ever keen on that, but we're willing to do it. We're willing to do it, and we've done it many times.
We tried.
We've stood on street in front of stores with Krispy Kreme donuts. We've done car washes. We've sold things. You know, we've done it many times, and we'll do it. You know, as that is available anytime. You know, as when we can. But at the same time, we also feel like it is really, you don't see anything in the Bible about really fundraising taking place. The people gave. The people gave to the work of God. And we know that's God's chosen way, is for his people to support his work. And yeah, I told Scott also, you know, the thing with fundraising is a couple of things. Well, one, I hate always going to the same people asking, you know, can you do, you know, you've already given in tithes and offerings this month. You even gave, you know, an extra for a radiothon, but now can you come buy a meal, or now can you come do, and I told Scott, I said, you know, to be honest, some of these fundraisers, it's like, okay, if I spend $10 to the church is really only making like $2 off of it. And I told Scott, I said, just to be honest, sometimes I'd rather just hand the $10 and say, there, take the $10. I don't want your product. I don't want I don't want to go eat there. I don't want any of that. Just take the $10 and you know, me personally, that's the way, you know, I feel many times.
And then it's more going into the whatever.
Yeah. And so I said, you know, honestly, I don't believe fundraising is God's way. Is it okay to do? Sure, it's okay to do. And I do especially encourage fundraising among youth, because I think young people should learn to work for what they get instead of them just getting things. Yeah. So I think that there should be that work taking place among them. But as far as the ministry goes, as far as the work of the ministry, the bills for the building and things like that, I don't think it's God's chosen way for the church to work to pay the bills. Mm-hmm. I feel like God's people are supposed to support it. And so anyway,
and our people here do.
Yeah, and they do.
They do greatly so. But we're reaching out, and people might say, well, why are you reaching out beyond the people in the church, expecting them to support it? Because we reach out with the radio station.
Yes, the radio station is reaching people beyond the church, and they need to be a part of it.
That's right.
They need to be a part of it. So that's why we're coming here. But anyway, I felt like with the fundraiser, it was like we tried, but it didn't work out. And I remember when that week Scott and I talking, and he said, you know, God has someone. God has some people. God has a supply that is going to come. It's going to happen, not necessarily with what we plan to do to make it happen. Though we'll try, we've tried many times, and we'll plan more fundraisers and do whatever possible. But in all honesty, God's way is for you, the listeners, to rise up and do something. Do what you are able to do. And again, for some, that's $10. And praise God for that $10. We'll be thankful for that $10, because your 10 is someone else's 10 and someone else's 10. It's going to add up and make things go a long way.
Amen.
But then there's someone, or there's some people out there who God's saying you can give $5,000. And not to get people off the hook, where they say, oh, well, I don't have to give this time. Right. But $5,000, because we're going to start eliminating that debt. Or you can give $10,000. Some of you just got a tax refund back, and you didn't tithe the way you were supposed to last year. And God's saying, now's the time. Mm-hmm. Now's the time to give that money. Or maybe you did tithe the way you were supposed to, but God's saying, you're to give above today. You're to give above. Maybe some blessing has come by your way, but God's saying, I want you to be a blessing to the ministry. Right. I want you to be a blessing to that work. Or maybe you just prosper all year long in whatever business you have or what you do. And God's saying, I want you to bless this ministry. Mm-hmm. The work they're doing is worthy of this blessing. Would you pray about it? Would you pray about being a part of it? And don't delay. If you delay, the devil will show up and give you every reason not to.
That's right.
But give now. Go to our website, wxpsfm.com. Click on the donate link. Give us a call. Brother Tony's answering the phone on 864-327-8725. He can take your credit or debit card information over the phone, or you can just call to say that you're going to send a donation, and he can give you that mailing address. It's P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina 29304. Text the word GIVE, G-I-V-E, to 864-507-9382. When you do that, it will prompt you for your credit or debit card information so you can give that way. Or you can stop by. The bookstore is open today until 2 o'clock. We're at 250 North Church Street in downtown Spartanburg. Come by, browse the bookstore, and drop off your donation. And like I've said before, we'll even say if you want us to come by and pick it up, let us know. We've done that before, and we'll do it again if it's needed. So just get in touch somehow, some way.
All right. I've got a song here, but I really might save that to the top of the hour if we can keep talking. Tell a little bit about some of the things you've been doing to reach out through the internet with video presentations, and all these things also are heard over radio, but you've been really making a lot of effort lately with the Ladies of Faith programs and streaming them on Facebook and on some evenings so that it reaches kind of an additional audience there, and you're going to be doing some of the same things, I believe, with the kids and teen programs. So it's another way. I want you to bring it up because it's another way, first of all, telling people it's out there and go watch and take advantage of it and be blessed by it, but it's another proof that we are trying to reach out to as many people as we can, not just beyond the walls of the church, but way beyond Spartanburg. Wherever the internet goes and wherever people want to pick it up, they have access to these things. And we hope those folks, even if they don't listen to the station, but they see these things, maybe they'll choose to help out sometime.
All right. So as you know, I have a daily program Monday through Friday called Ladies of Faith that airs, I know it's 3 times a day. One is like at 5:30 in the morning, yep, I think, and then 2:30 afternoon and 10:30. 10:30, okay.
Eastern time.
You know, well, good. So it airs 3 times a day, and I know we hear from radio listeners from time to time saying they're listening to Ladies of Faith, and thank you for listening. I always enjoy hearing from some of my listeners, although it's kind of funny. A lot of times when I hear from my listeners, it's a man, and we kind of laugh because it's called Ladies of Faith. But in all honesty, what I'm talking about applies to men and women both. So it's perfectly appropriate for anybody to listen to. But we always just kind of laugh about.
So you don't get on there and just talk about going shopping and wearing lipstick and stuff like that?
No, and even when I talk about topics that do pertain to females more. It's usually about how to be a godly wife or a godly mother, but I always bring up things even in those programs that it's relevant for a man to hear. And so it's. But I mean, I just got through with a series, although it hasn't completely aired on the radio. But next week it will air the conclusion of the program where I've been talking about the fruit of the Spirit, and of course that's relevant for everyone, male or female. So we talk about anything, but so when I record those programs for the radio station, what I've gotten where I've been doing lately is I not only record the audio of me teaching for the radio station, but I recorded the video of me doing it. It takes a little bit more work for me to do that. Obviously I'm not going to, I have to be a little bit more careful about where I'm at, and I have to make sure I'm up and dressed and wearing my makeup, whereas used to I might have been about ready to go to bed when I recorded radio programs, but I have to do a little bit better about that. And so it's a little bit more effort, but it's okay because I feel like it's a good thing to have those videos available for people. And what I've been doing is taking those videos, and I do several things with them. One, I live stream them on Facebook. I kind of have chosen Tuesdays and Thursdays as my live stream days, although sometimes I don't do it. For instance, with Radiothon this week, I probably won't do a live stream tonight, just because Radiothon days max me out. When I go to Easter camp meeting, I most likely won't be doing any live streams there, but typically I do Tuesdays and Thursdays. I take a video that I've already recorded and I stream it, and it's a great thing because it just kind of reaches out to my Facebook friends, people who may never turn on the radio station. It gives them an opportunity to hear, and usually when I live stream, I can see who's watching. If some of my friends tune in, it shows me so and so is watching, and it's kind of fun because I see sometimes people that I know they don't ever hear the station, but they're listening. I don't know if they listen the whole time or just for a few moments, but it's a blessing to know that I am reaching some people that maybe wouldn't normally hear. And then so I live stream it there. I upload the videos to YouTube. I have I created a YouTube channel called Ladies of Faith. If you go to YouTube, look for Ladies of Faith, you'll see my profile picture. And so you can go on there and subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, when I upload a new video, it goes on. I don't have all the videos up yet, but because it takes over an hour to upload each video, I spent yesterday uploading 3. Because by the time it takes a while to upload one, and then I've worked on another one, and but so every now and then I go in and take time to upload them there. So Ladies of Faith on YouTube, and then also if you have the Vision of Truth app on Roku, if you have a Roku box which uses the internet to let you watch things, we go to our channel Vision of Truth.
And let me throw in, if you don't have a Roku, you can get them for $30 now at Walmart or Best Buy, or order one from Amazon. That's the lowest end model, but it'll probably do everything you want to do on Roku. And you can get our channel, you can get SBN, and there's even some pay things if you want to get other things and pay for them. And there's other things that are free as well. But it's a neat device. Is becoming more and more popular. There's some competition to it. There's Apple TV and there's Fire TV that Amazon has done, and we're not available on those. We're just on Roku. Maybe one day we will be on those as well, but that'll take some additional programming to make that happen, and I don't have time for that right now.
Scott's our programmer, so
yeah, so let's please get a Roku. If you spending $30 is easier than me doing the programming for so just get a Roku.
You can get channels that are completely free. Like our channel is free, so once you buy the Roku box, you download our channel. There's no cost to you for downloading the channel. There's no cost to you for watching the channel. And like you said, Sun Life Broadcasting is available through that. So you don't even have to pay for Sun Life. If you're paying for internet every month, and we've been paying for internet for years. So getting a Roku box made sense.
So if you're paying for internet, and then you're also paying for, and the people that run these companies wouldn't like me saying this, but if you're paying for DirecTV or Dish or Charter Spectrum or some of these things, and you're not watching anything but SBN, then you can get that for free on Roku. You're already paying for internet. Pay $30 and get a Roku, and then you might even decide you could do away with some of those other services you're paying for if you're getting it, if you watch SBN all the time anyway. And that's what we hear from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I never change the channel, they say. I never watch anything else except maybe Fox News. And
you can totally eliminate some
there's actually
bills.
some ways that we could help you out for a little consulting fee. We might help you out and tell you some of the things we've done to eliminate some bills and still be able to watch what you want to and not pay for a bunch of junk that you're not going to watch.
Yeah, and like what we've gotten into lately is there were a few channels that we enjoy watching besides SBN, and mainly for Scott, he likes to watch Fox News some, and so we got into a service that it's a streaming service that we could choose what channels we want, and I think we have 10 channels, but we don't pay that much a month for those 10 channels. And and then we have SBN for free over the Roku, so you can get everything on your Roku box and really reduce your TV bill.
But going back to our channel on Roku, you can watch like the Ladies of Faith that you're talking about, but they can also watch the church service.
Yeah,
I want to throw that in. They can watch all of our services live.
Yeah, so if you download Vision of Truth on there, you can watch well, first of all, you can listen to the radio station on there, and as you're listening, it shows just like slides of events we have coming up at our church and information about that. And then anytime we're live here, if we're live in a church service or Scott's doing a live program like this one where he's in the studio, then it goes on Vision of Truth. And I love that. I really love, because if sometimes I'm having to stay home with the kids sick, I don't really want to look at my little iPad and watch church. And so being able to turn on the big screen and turn up the speakers and have good sound, and I'm able to really enjoy the church service by watching it on my TV. So I love doing it that way. But we also have on there archives of older services. You can go, and if you missed last week's service, you can just go and look it up and watch it. We have really older things, like some of our old radio programs from years ago and old TV programs from years ago. We have a lot of that on there. But we also have, recently we added the Ladies of Faith column. And so the videos that I've been creating, we're also uploading on there. Now, I'll tell you, it's a little bit further behind than even my YouTube channel because, again, it takes over an hour for each video to upload. So you got to imagine every day when I'm working, uploading a video that's going to take over an hour, and so it takes over an hour to do it on YouTube. It takes over an hour to do it here. That becomes very time consuming. So I'm a little bit slower on getting it on there, but I do have them on there. I do have a few on there, and I will be working soon to get even more on there. So another great way to watch it. So that's the Ladies of Faith program. Been doing that. And then as we recently started recording new kids and teen programs with children and teens at the church, we're also taking those and doing video of those as well. So it's not just audio, but it's also video of those. And those, if you go to on Facebook and you like Crossword Kids or like Crossword Teens, the first episode of the Crossword Kids program is actually going to be airing this Saturday on there.
Is that the one we've already got on Roku? Because we've got one on there now.
It's already on Roku. We've already put it on Roku.
Another advantage for Roku, sometimes you get things there you can't get, or get them sooner on there. Possible.
Yes, so we uploaded that one to Roku. Now this aired a couple of months ago, so it took me a while to get it out there because between editing and uploading, things just take a while for me to get it all out there. But and of course, as I say this, I hope I'm showing y'all. When I said earlier, we work more than 40-hour work weeks. We really do. We work a lot of hours that it's hard to imagine. When you see the result, you don't know how many hours went into getting it out there. But yes, the Crossword Kids, the first program we just got uploaded on Roku. The first one is going to stream this Saturday on the Crossword Kids page on Facebook. And then my intention is I'm going to rotate. So the next Saturday, I'll have the first episode of the Crossword Teen program on the Crossword Teen page. So I'm going to kind of rotate between those two, Crossword Kids and Crossword Teens, on Saturdays. So be watching for that.
I think you just answered this and I missed it. When is the first Crossword Teen program going to be on the Roku channel? Probably pretty soon.
The following Saturday.
Okay.
On the Roku channel. I'll get it uploaded early. Maybe this weekend or definitely early next week.
Okay. So again, it'll be out there a little bit earlier than they could watch it on Facebook.
Yes.
So go out this weekend and get a Roku. $30, Walmart. Tell them we sent you. Go home and search for Vision of Truth. I helped somebody install the app the other day. And I tried to make it easier on them. I said, just look for Vision or look for Truth. But I found out there's a lot of things that have the word because it not only searches channels, but movie titles and TV program titles. So I had them search for Vision of Truth. It comes right up. Tell it to install it. It's simple. It's easy. and you'll get what's going on over the radio and what's been recorded and things like that. You'll get a lot of it. You'll get the video of it right there on your TV screen.
Yes.
Like you said, not a little phone screen or a tablet or even a computer monitor, but your television. You'll be able to get it there. And so do that. So said all that to say, we're trying to get this message out of the gospel to as many people as we can in as many different ways as we can. And that's why we are here raising money for 3 reasons. Not for all this stuff Nikki's talking about doing. We're not raising money to do that. Those are technology that's already in place. We're just utilizing it to do some additional things. But we are raising money because we have monthly expenses for radio. We have $1,600 worth of expenses every month for radio. We're at $1,226 toward that. We have $2,000 worth of debts to pay every month because we renovated this building in downtown Spartanburg. We're $4 toward that out of a $2,000 goal, and we want to get back on local television that you can receive through your cable subscription or through your satellite subscription or through an over-the-air antenna on your roof or rabbit ears, whatever it may be. We're going to get back on local television, and for the first time, we've got money toward our goal, or actually we surpassed our monthly goal for that at 401, but we need to hear from you. So if you have something else to say about the streaming, please do. But otherwise, let's give them that contact information again.
All right. So, yes, we need to raise over about $2,400, and I would love to meet the radio goal definitely today. And but please realize, as Scott said, as we've talked about all that we're doing, we're telling you all this to say, look, we're doing our part to get the gospel out there. We're doing every possibility we can find. I mean, we're talking Roku, we're talking YouTube, Facebook. And, we're doing everything we can to get the gospel out there. Would you be a part by supporting it financially? And again, whatever you can give, it'll be a help. You can give by going to WXPSFM.com and click on the donate link. It will take you safely and securely through PayPal, and you can give that way. You can give us a call at 864-327-8725. When you call, we have Brother Tony answering today, and he can take your credit or debit card information over the phone, and we can process that. And so you can give that way. You can text the word give to 864-507-9382. When you text the word give to that number, it will prompt you and ask you for your credit or debit card information. Again, you can only text that number. It's 864-507-9382. Text the word give. You can mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 1905, Spartanburg, South Carolina 29304. But if you're going to do that, include the amount in today's totals. Or you can stop by. We're at 250 North Church Street in downtown Spartanburg. The bookstore is open until 2 o'clock today. We invite you to come by, browse around, and drop off your donation while you're here. So a lot of ways to give, and we need people to start giving. Again, I always say, and I mean this, I pray for more of our radio listeners to be a part, even if it's just $10. Give what you're able to do. Even if it's just $5, give what you're able to do, right. or rather give what God tells you to give. But for some, it may be $5, $10, something like that. Do it. Do it. Do what you can do. And but if God's telling you to give 100, if God's telling you to give 1,000, or if God's telling you to get in touch with us to do even more than that because you're going to pay off some debt, then be obedient to that. Be obedient. And I do believe God has supplies out there. I believe he has blessings to provide for the work of this ministry. And I believe you should be a part of it. Whoever you are, I believe God has chosen you to be a part of it. Chosen you to help support this work, to take it further. And we try to work as hard as we can to do what we can, but we need help to make it financially possible.
We can't do the work and then work on top of that to finance it all.
Yes.
I mean, it's just ministries don't work that way. No ministry does, and unless it's a rich person that God called to start the ministry and they can finance it themselves. But most of the time, it doesn't work that way.
Yes.
So we need your help. Now, I don't understand this. To me, it would be fun. This is for people here in Spartanburg. It would be fun to come by, and like I said, even if you're giving $5 or whatever the case may be, come by the bookstore and see this facility and talk to some of the people. You'd be talking to Tony if you came by now, between now and 2 o'clock. And say, that makes you feel more like a part of it. Get out of the house or get away from your office desk for a few minutes. It's a beautiful day. I guess it still is. I think it's supposed to get cloudy maybe later this afternoon, but I don't have windows in here, which is another story. But I'm assuming the sun's still shining. So get out. Get out. Come down here and say, hey, I want to see what this bookstore looks like, and let's see what the prayer room looks like that they've talked about for so long. And give a little something. And, what we want you to come by even if you can't give anything, even if you don't donate. We'd love for you to come by. But come be a part of what's going on at 250 North Church Street, and we are going to be looking for you. Thank you for joining us this hour. We hope to hear from some people by text and online and even by telephone this afternoon. We hope to come in with a brand new total at 5. We'll be on live again from 5 till 6 this afternoon right here on FM 92.1 WXPS and online, Sound of Truth and Vision of Truth. Thank you, and God bless you.
Down through the years, I've had a lot of friends. They'd be there for a while, but they were gone again. Since I've met this man, the one they call Jesus, there's one thing I'm sure of: he will never leave us. He's been a long time friend, stood right by my side, helped me through some bad days, brought me through the darkest night. He's been there through the years, he'll be there till the end. Ask me why I love him, why I live my life for him. Long time friend. All down through the years, he's been a friend like no other. He forgave me of my sin. He became my elder brother, stands by me in the storm, protects me in the fire. I'm holding on to him, holding on with all my might. He's been a long time friend, stood right by my side, helped me through some bad days, brought me through the darkest night. He's been there through the years, he'll be there till the end. Ask me why I love him, why I live my life for him. Long time friend. He's been a long time friend, stood right by my side, helped me through some bad days, brought me through the darkest night. He's been there through the years, he'll be there till the end. Ask me why I love him, why I live my life for him. He's been a long time friend, stood right by my side, helped me through some bad days, brought me through the darkest night. He's been there through the years, he'll be there till the end. Ask me why I love him, why I live my life for him. down through this, I've had a lot of friends. They'd be there for a while, but they were gone again. Since I've met this man, the one they call Jesus.
You're listening to WXPS LP 92.1 FM in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Welcome to Through the Bible, an in-depth and intriguing study of God's Word that is designed to educate and edify our listeners. And now, here are your hosts, Scott and Nikki Corbin.
Lord, you're beautiful.
Acts chapter 5 and verse number 38. Just reading 2 verses there this morning. Acts 5 and 38. It says, "And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught." 39th verse, "But if it be of God, ye cannot overthrow it, lest haply ye be found even to fight against God." If it be of God, you cannot overthrow it. You'll be found fighting against God. I want to use for a title this morning a couple of words that I found myself saying a good bit recently as we've talked on various things, and that those words are arise, church.